And a good evening to SFL Nation. Welcome back to New Orleans for the second game of the Rookie Showcase between the Detroit Steel and the Houma Revolution. The Revolution and Steel feature a ton of first-round draft picks tonight and is our feature game of the showcase. Gerald Giudice expected to be along with me. He is still working through some technical issues, but for now you have me, Cameron Irvine, flying solo, ready for an awesome game tonight. And for the first time, we'll get to see Johnny Pickler, the number one pick in the draft, in action, playing for the Revolution. While I'm without Gerald, I'll be in the chat a little bit more than usual, chatting it up with you fine folks here on a beautiful Wednesday night. The Revolution will receive. And we're ready for game number 2. Ball's on the tee, and it's one more game before the SFL preseason gets underway. And the Detroit Steel have kicked it, and we're underway. So we get a look at the Revolution first, and that means we get a look at Johnny Pickler. Pickler tonight, listed on the roster sheet as 19 for whatever reason. I know that he'll be wearing 14 during the season, so that's a small typo there, but we'll see him in action in a couple of days in the number 14. But everything about Pickler is ready to go, and how about that for his first pass of the night, a 21-yard pickup down the field. That's to Francis Delicount, the running back that is pretty insignificant this evening, but Pickler off to a hot start. Revolution in the sort of matte blue and bronze, while the Steel in gray and white with some black trim. Fast start for Pickler and company. Pickler standing in the pocket, goes down for a sack. Tucker Lewis making the play for the Detroit Steel. Lewis, one of the only faces on this defensive front that wasn't a top 10 pick. And Lewis makes the early big play on Pickler, a 4-yard loss. 3 receivers to the right of Pickler, and on 2nd and 14, he's going long. The pass is tipped up and incomplete, knocked away by Jacob Clear of Detroit. Clear, the 11th pick out of drafted by Houston, I should say. And he's already looking good for the Hyenas. 3rd and 14 now for Pickler. After the initial completion, he's got a sack and an incompletion to his name. 1 minute into the showcase, Pickler drops to throw. We'll check it down. And nice effort after the catch. A 9-yard gain for Jeremy Mosley. That's the new tight end in a Denver Nightwing uniform, but not enough to move the chains for the offense. The 37th pick in the draft for Denver. Mosley makes his first catch, but the Steel get a stop. Nearly a punt block. This is a monstrous kick, but it's going to fall into the end zone. The Revolution punter is the Florida Storm punter, Marcus Agrippa, one of a couple of contract punters in the SFL coming into the season, and he rocketed that one all the way but couldn't get it to drop inside the 5-yard line. The quarterback is not much to worry about tonight, Gabby Jones for the Steel. But look in that backfield, and you'll see Phoenix Jones at fullback. He's lined up to the left of Gabby Jones. And initially, Phoenix Jones is going to get a block and pick up a couple of yards for the Steel's running back tonight. That's Trevor Lord. Making the tackle, Bryce Lincoln, the 4th overall selection by the New Orleans Pharaohs. This is a star-studded defensive group for the Revolution that includes the 2nd overall pick, Riley Combs, and the 4th overall pick, Bryce Lincoln. That pass is quickly caught to Jacob McCall, and no huddle here early out of the Steel after a 2-yard pickup. And Jones hit as he threw and throws the ball into no man's land. Applying the pressure for the Revs was Joseph Sabolka, the 26th selection out of Charleston. And the Steel go 3 and out, and they'll have to punt it away. Steel punter is Amanda Moyer. Kicker is Anthony Cece out of Chicago. Moyer, a member or an undrafted rookie, but also playing with the Predators. Fair catch called for, running up to the punt at the 48-yard line. The return man for the Revolution tonight is Dave Axis of the Atlanta Swarm. Axis, the top receiver on this offense tonight, along with Saren Storm, who was taken by London, and Nick Castle, who signed as a UDFA with Seattle. 1st and 10 at the 48, 8:53 to go in the first half. 2 receivers, 1 to either side for Pickler. His 2nd possession. Pickler steps up in the pocket, floats it outside, pass caught for a 6-yard gain. Catch by Mosley, so check that. Actually, it's the other tight end, Jack Flash, making the play for the Revolution. Chat shout-outs to Ronman6684, I'm a effing problem, Phoenix Jones, J.Z. Smooth, Mike Improda, Dave Axis, Udoncha, Ban the Pop-Tart, Pseudo Nakai, Angel Eyes, and more, as that is a broken tackle just for an instant to the outside. And saving a first down. Didn't quite get a name out there, but a nice stop for the Steel. 3rd and 3 at the 45. If you missed it earlier today, an incredibly entertaining game between the Crusaders and the Lancers. Crusaders won 26-7, but in that game we saw 2 interceptions by Succo Lamano. We saw Johnny Pickler's kid get MVP, as Pickler's going to be sacked for a 4th down. Sacking him, Lee Adama in the backfield, the 6th overall selection by Vancouver. Well, we saw a number of things. We saw a 69-yard run by the fullback Jet Zero. We saw Mac Chima just rip through the Lancer defense. It was a really fun game. And you didn't miss a thing. Apologize, we lost signal from headquarters for just a second, but Agrippa's punt went into the end zone, and the Steel will start from the 20-yard line. Gerald Giudice intending to be along for the ride with us tonight, trying to get his situation. And that pass outside is going to go for a 3-yard loss for the Steel. And big number 99, defensive tackle Orion Taylor in the backfield to make the stop. All right, 2nd and 13 at the 17-yard line. Just getting started here in the primetime game of the showcase. Another sack in the backfield, a 2-yard loss. Both defenses are awake tonight, unlike in the first game where we saw some offensive fireworks early. That's Berto DeMora, the first-round selection out of Tulsa, making the play. And we have seen Orion Taylor, Berto DeMora, and company on that defensive front for the Revs, but not necessarily Riley Combs yet. 3rd and 15, though, for Jones, and Jones drops back and fires, just sort of airmailed it to the intended target, Flash Furman, and nothing Flash can really do about that one, as Jones makes a mess of that second possession for Detroit. And right now the Revolution are winning the field position battle here halfway through the first quarter. Running up to get the punt and then just letting it go. Have you ever seen that before? The ball will bounce at the Detroit 44-yard line. Moyer, traditionally a kicker, in some punting duties tonight and having a bit of a rough start. So Johnny Pickler going to end up with stellar field position here at the 44-yard line of Detroit. I would say the Revolution have slightly a little bit more momentum. The fullback for the Revolution, Mike Improta, yet to get a carry. 4 wide here for Pickler, 3 out to the left. Dime look for the steal and a toss play to the left side, and with a little bit of burst, nearly getting a first down out of the backfield for Delacourt. On the tackle for the steal, strong safety Eddie Blackwell, and it's 2nd and very short. Kanye Rockefeller in the chat. Minson Mind in the chat. Derezid is with us tonight. Coach Craven is back. Hog Fan James. Quarterback Deacon Nickens cheering on his teammate Berto Demora. 2nd and short. 5.5 to go. And a toss play is not going to work. That's Tucker Lewis in the backfield making things happen. And a 2nd and inches quickly goes to 3rd down and 4. Pickler going to throw, and Pickler's pass is a little off target. Looked like there may have been some pass interference down the field for Saren Storm was the intended receiver, and that drive is going to stall out. So the Revolution not really taking advantage too much of the great field position. Bryce Battle back to return the punt, but so far Agrippa's just cranked both of them into the end zone. Exotic 23, that's Berto Demora in the chat, getting a chance to check things out. Already made one big play here in the quarter, and that is a coffin corner punt down to the 9. First time Agrippa's been able to pin the steal inside the 10, and Detroit just has not had any offense to speak of. Now they're going to need to get something cooking here. Their wide receivers, number 10, Jacob McCall, number 14, Bryce Battle, number 18, Flash Furman, Lyric Da Vinci at tight end, number 46. Got a couple on the line. Tackle Claude Luge, guard Griffin King. And one more tight end to get to. That's a first down out to the 20 on a pass hauled in by Lord. Also a tight end, Aaron Brown. As both backs went out into the flat, and the steal went to Lord instead of Phoenix Jones. And tell you what, Phoenix Jones and Mike Improta, they got a lot to live up to after Jet Zero just rocketed onto the scene earlier today with those 100 yards on 16 carries. 5 minutes to go in the first. No score. And the handoff got a couple, dragging a couple of defenders in to make that play. Primarily was Dexter Jackson of the Revolution, but also in there to make the stop was Riley Combs, the second overall pick. First time we've called her name tonight, playing for Carolina this year. Four and a half to go, second down and 8. Detroit trying to put together a drive after it started deep in their own territory on the own 9-yard line. That's a 5-yard pickup for McCall. The 31st selection out of Tulsa. Tulsa's got a couple of players in action tonight. 3rd down and 3. Kind of feel like it's a big 3rd down for this offense to keep things moving. Drive's already been 18 yards long. Handoff, and running into no man's land was Lord, and another tremendous tackle made by Dexter Jackson out wide, and Detroit will have to kick it away. Kills Krilla in the chat. That's Dexter Jackson. JD Rich 2269 saying that he's Trevor Lord. Unless you know something I don't. Maybe did you sneak your way into the showcase? Fair catch call for it at the 43-yard line. That'd be a good way to get your name out if you're an undrafted free agent. Well, a bit of a, I don't want to say snooze, but both these teams kind of feeling each other out here so far. Haven't seen any deep balls down the field from Pickler just yet. Pickler working with Improta in his backfield. And Pickler dropping deep and going long, and it's caught inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. A 29-yard gain for Dave Axis of the Atlanta Swarm. Pickler to Axis connection on the first major play of the night, and Pickler ripped that one down the field, eventually making the tackle for the steal, the free safety Ron Hoff of Chicago and cornerback Ray Zor of Seattle. So Pickler getting things moving, and for the first time tonight, either team is in scoring position. Another toss outside, and that is lunch for the Steel defense. Stephen Cleland making the stop, wearing number 45 tonight for the Steel. Cleland, an undrafted free agent linebacker, believe will be in London this season. 2nd and 13. After the loss, Pickler trying to get him out of a jam. Quickly outside. That, once again, is Delacourt. Picks up 5. Tackle on the outside made by Ron Hoff. And it'll bring up another critical 3rd down here for the Revolution if they're trying to get some points. The kicker for the Revs is Ethan Sneed. So we'll see what Sneed's leg looks like, perhaps. Third and 8. Pickler down the field. Caught again. First down to the 13-yard line. Pickler's 7 of 9 for 86 yards. And the pass caught by Saren Storm. And we apologize. It looked like that might have been on Twitch's end that time from headquarters. If you missed it, the 3rd down play, Pickler to Storm, gets Detroit to the gets the Revolution to the 13-yard line of the Steel. Handoff now, and some good blocking down the field. That's going to be a touchdown for the Revolution. Leading the charge, tackle Stu McKenzie, number 59, getting some blocks out there. And Alistair Johnson of Houston, number 76, also blocking on the play. Let's see if we can get a look at what they did out wide. 68 got a pull, but there you see there late on the replay that McKenzie came over, picked up a second block. And the Revolution are on the board first. They have really owned field position in this first quarter. It is 6-0. Extra point is blocked. The Steel get to the extra point, so Sneed will have to wait a little while longer to get his first points, and that's the second blocked extra point we have seen today. Couldn't tell who got in there, but that could be a difference maker in the game later on. Improda in the chat. You would think he's going to be playing for the Revolution this year. I can't imagine what he's going to be like when Chicago's on. First down at the 26-yard line after the return by Bryce Battle. So at the end of the first quarter, the plan is we might bring Eddie Gage back for another pairing. I've not heard yet from Gerald about his technical situation, but it's not looking good apparently. First and 10 at the 26-yard line. It's preseason for the broadcast crew as well. Two receivers, one to either side. Jones flips it out quickly to a wide open receiver for 5 yards. And to the outside is Jacob McCall, and I have a feeling McCall might be getting a bunch of catches in the flat here so far tonight. Both teams with generic playbooks, as will all the SFL teams in the preseason over the next few days. Makes the opening week of the regular season all that much more interesting, or all that more interesting, I should say, getting our first look at the actual tailored game plans and tailored strategies given team skills. Delay on the handoff, and look at that athletic move. Sabolka from the defensive tackle slot slides over and from behind catches up to Lord. It's a 2-yard loss. Third and 6 at the 30. Back to pass. Jones in trouble and sacked. A 1-yard loss. Berto DeMora with his second sack of the day. Brock Lee earlier today had 4, but DeMora is making his presence felt. The 12th pick in the draft, and once again Detroit has to boot it away. And so far, I think the storyline coming in was the just intense defensive line from the Steel. They've got 4 top 10 picks on their line, and that's what Johnny Pickler is facing tonight. And so far, Pickler, they showed a graphic earlier, 7 for 9 for about 70 yards, has looked like one of the best players out there on the field tonight. Pickler with 2 in the backfield. We have yet to see a fullback get a carry tonight. Jones and Improda out there as that pass is caught over the middle. That's Jeremy Mosley with his 3rd catch of the quarter. And that'll bring us to the end of 1. Revolution on the board first. Extra point got blocked. 6-0 is the score. And we'll keep it here as the second installment of the Rookie Showcase rolls on. Second and 6 at midfield for Johnny Pickler and the rest of the offense. Pickler will take 3 steps and fire it outside for nearly a first down. Mark Mello, first time we've said his name tonight. Big defensive end number 99 gets dragged a little bit there by Delacourt, but does avoid giving up the first down. Mello, the number 3 pick in the draft, right behind Combs. Third and 2 at the 46. And a draw, and that'll get the first down, just barely. But the Revolution getting just about everything to work tonight so far. The center, Roderick Kidd, helps them up. Flash 20500. New face in the chat tonight. Night Shift Football Sim in the chat as well. And look at that. First touch of the football. 2-yard pickup there for Mike Improta. And we get our first look at the Chicago Wildcats' first round selection on a pickup of 2 yards. Second and 8 at the 42-yard line. And the handoff just gets 1. So it'll be back in Johnny Pickler's hands on a 3rd down and 7. Tucker Lewis makes yet another stop, 4 tackles, 2 for loss. You know, the Baltimore Vultures, they signed everybody back that played for them last season. And Eddie Gage is back with us. Welcome back, Eddie.
What up, though?
Taking the place of Judas Sessi, who could not resolve his issues. And, man, you are the life of the party, because as soon as you show up, we got a pick with 8:58 to go in the first half, and it's Johnny Pickler's first pick of the day, and that's Eddie Blackwell. Not Eddie Gage, but close enough on that play.
Close enough. Offense sells tickets, defense wins games. Let's get it.
So what have you seen through the first 14 minutes or so, Eddie? Johnny, before that interception, was looking good.
He was. He actually looked pretty good during a couple of scrimmages I ran against St. Louis, as well as a game I saw him against in Florida. He has a cannon of an arm.
Carr ends up bringing Lord down, but it took a village there. Lord picks up 7, going to get another carry. Look at the steal moving.
Oh.
Look at Lord with the spin move to the 46-yard line.
I've been more impressed with the running backs of these two teams as well.
Oh, not like whoever that long name cat was in the first game, that's for sure. Lord's in trouble here. Wrap up made there by the Revs. That strong safety, Kai Cash, who was a late 3rd-round selection. The Steel are moving, and they just keep hammering this run game. But only pick up 3. They got to throw it here with Jones, you would think.
They need to check out of this audible here.
3rd and 8. Jones does get out of it. Jones, all kinds of time. Sidearm pass. That is caught. First down to the Revolution 41-yard line, and that's the first catch of the night for tight end Aaron Brown. And the Steel are doing some things in the second quarter.
Yeah, the quarterback was back there playing eeny, meeny, miny, mo. He had a couple of receivers open downfield.
Don't want to catch a scorpion by its toe. Scorpions even have toes?
I do not know.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line. Jones is hit. And in the backfield, Chad Rowland, another one of those vultures on the line. And you got to respect the Vultures being able to bring back every single one of their pieces over the offseason. That's a pretty cool deal.
I told TJ Speaks the exact same thing this offseason. What a blessing.
Certainly building a great culture there in Baltimore. It's almost alarming that TJ has not won an SFL championship, and who knows, maybe it is his season. You've got Frank Gooden out there, who's been in the league a long time, won a lot of playoff games, looking for his first. Jason McGee of Sioux Falls, a lot of deep playoff runs, looking for his first. There's a lot of people out there that are hungry, Eddie.
Myself included.
So 3rd and 6, trips off the left side. What are the Steel going to do here? They're just outside of field goal range, you would think. 4-man rush. Jones, deep drop back, flips it outside. Oh, it could have been a pick 6. That would have been big, but it's Tabucky Bear out of the slot safety position that was in sort of contention to make that play, and it's too bad one of the Revs' corners that are more notable, Marvin Himes or who else they got out there? Davidson Joseph couldn't have made the stop.
A 7-step drop and you throw it an out route. That's a recipe for a pick 6. You're giving the corner too much time to read the play and get out there. That should have been an interception.
And once again, the Revolution, it's the second time we've seen that tonight. the Revolution returner moves away from the ball. That is Dave Axis, and I think Chisholm got in his ear and said, "Hey, we need you healthy. Just get away from all those."
I've played punt returner before as well as kick returner, and when those punts are up in the air, flashing those lights, it's hard to see, and two, you're afraid of getting blasted because it's hard to time it.
Pickup of 3, so Pickler starts deep in his own territory. Look at some rookies jawing down there at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Delacorte picks up 3, and Detroit's defense goes back to work. Close ball game.
6-0. I saw the extra point blocked earlier.
Didn't catch a number, but that's the second of the day. Pickler dropping a throw, dumps it over the middle, nearly threw another pick, and that again was Blackwell all over the field.
Pickler thought he saw man. It was zone, and that was a cover 3. Linebacker almost took that one to the house.
Soul 2011, AJ pick 6. Also in the chat tonight, as we are streaming to currently 58 viewers. Happy to have you here for the late night showcase on a 3rd and 7. Pickler going to throw, and Pickler delivers wide open to the 35-yard line. Pass caught by Dave Axis. And I don't know what it is about the number 88 today, Eddie, but first it was Mac Chima, and now it's Dave Axis.
Matt Chima had himself a whale of a game, and now you got Dave here looking like a 9 route he ran there, and was one breaking tackle away from taking that one to the house.
Tackle made by Ron Hoff and some swarm supporters in there cheering on Axis. 5:50 to go in the first half. Handoff on a stretch play. That's not going anywhere. And number 95, Matthew Braun, brings down Delacorte.
Those stretch plays can be either a home run hitter or a loss in the backfield. This all depends on how it's played.
Well, Seattle loved those stretch plays down the stretch. No pun intended, but Denver found a way to cobble them down in the championship game. What a play! He's gone, shot out of a cannon. Francis Delacorte makes 2 people miss, and it's a touchdown. He's got 2 tonight. Somebody sign this cat.
In the words of a famous Chicago baseball broadcaster, you can put it on the board, yes.
Look at this, 1 and 2. And we don't want to drop the stock of rookies too early, so we won't tell you who whiffed. There was whiffing all over the field.
There. Oh, my goodness. 2 spin moves.
Wow.
And to show the stamina to complete the play and get in for the touchdown, that's just as impressive. It's a long run there.
So the home team struggled in the first game, but the Revolution have had no struggle here in the first half. Snead will try for the extra point for his first points. Davidson Joseph, a corner for the Revs. Can't believe that run by his temporary teammate. 5:12 to go in the first half, and it is 13-0. All right, Detroit, what you got for us?
5 minutes and change left in this half to put a crooked number on that scoreboard.
From the 11 on the return, and not much there. And Proda signaling that he had something to do with that long touchdown run. I bet he did. I wish we would have gotten a slow-mo in the backfield.
And Proda has been in a general chat since the day he signed, telling everyone who will listen that Chicago is going to the championship this season.
I love it. I love it. I can feel his energy all the way from Rhode Island.
Yes.
1st and 10 at the 27. Jones fires over the middle. Nice little flip for 8 yards to the 35-yard line. That pass caught by the tight end, Lyric Da Vinci. And who would have thought we'd have two guys named Lyric, and we got somebody else that's named Lyric in the league, I feel like.
Lyric, is it Jenkins or something like that?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I formation here, 2nd and 2 at the 35. Detroit's gotten the offense going a little bit in this quarter, but really struggling to keep and maintain drives. As you look at Delacorte up to 90 yards, but a nice wrap-up tackle made there by cornerback Davidson Joseph. Welcome to the league, Davidson Joseph.
Staying disciplined. His task was to go after the quarterback, but he saw the ball being handed off and closed that gap.
So 3rd and 2 here, 4:11 to go. They're going to throw for it, and it's quickly outside and out of play. That was intended for McCall, who's been running a lot of out routes here so far tonight. McCall's going to get an earful.
Yes, he is.
McCall said, hey, don't you grab my face mask. You ain't my coach. only my coach tonight. And I'm getting out of Dodge and heading to my destination. McCall taken by Tulsa. We've seen a lot of Tulsa players active. Demora's got a couple of sacks already. Oh, they're coming after this one, but they can't get there. Fair catch call for. Hey, Axis. Welcome to the punt return game, my friend.
He must have heard you guys.
That's right.
Or someone got word to him.
Yep, sure did. Well, more great field position here for the Revolution. They're already on the Steel 37-yard line, and this has the potential of starting a route here. Pickler out of the gun. That defensive front has not really had a lot to do tonight. He almost got away again. And tackling him from behind, Lee Adama. Are you surprised, Eddie? 4 top 10 picks on this defensive front, and they just have not been able to get any push.
Yeah, a bit, but I'm surprised he stopped there. If he keeps his run going, that's at least a 5 or 6 yard gain.
2nd and 7, another handoff here. They're letting Pickler work on his handoff game. As that wrap-up made by Stephen Cleland. Mark Lopez saying 2 people named Lyric is just a foreshadowing for the SFL, the musical, starring T. Roy and Demond. Oh, Lordy. 3rd and 6 at the 41 for Pickler. 3:05 to go in the first half. Pickler taking a deep drop back. Pickler in some trouble, gets it away. Oh, it's off the hands of Axis. Had it right in his hands. Matthew Braun applying pressure. But a rare drop there from Dave Axis will send Agrippa back on the field to pin the Steel back inside the 10.
That's a wasted opportunity there to even put more points on the board potentially for this team before the half. Had 2 hands on it and somehow managed to drop it.
Feel like this is Detroit's chance. They've been kind of toying with scoring much of the night. Haven't been able to accomplish anything. Agrippa's got quite the leg, as we saw from Maxwell Falk earlier today. Gets it all the way down to the 15-yard line, and that's a 44-yard punt with no return. And back comes the Steel, who have not gotten much working with Gabby Jones.
Well, there's no time like the present. It's just under 3 minutes left in this first half. The time is now.
Can Phoenix Jones get something going? Been a little quiet, as has Flash Furman. Had one chance down the field, but the pass was off target. Handoff, and a good-looking run of 9 goes to Lord. 2nd and 1.
Both of these tailbacks have shown great versatility today. Able to run and catch the ball out of the backfield, showing their elusiveness today.
2nd and 1 of the 24. Jones blocking. Got the block that sprung the first down. That got about 3. Detroit doesn't seem to be in too much of a hurry here. They're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, they're probably going to let this get down to the 2-minute warning here.
There's a look at DeMore with his couple of sacks. Good start for Tulsa Desperados and the Mexico City Aztecs, among others, here in the Rookie Showcase. 2-minute warning. Preseason, Eddie, starts tomorrow. A couple games, pair of games on the slate. 2 on Friday, 4 on Saturday, and a couple on Sunday.
I cannot wait.
Before the divisional round, of course. Jones flips it outside, ruled incomplete.
I thought he got 1 foot down there.
Yeah, I thought so too, into a crowd. Haven't heard from R62 all night tonight. Furman was the intended target.
It's inside of 2 minutes, so if it's going to be challenged, it's going to be from upstairs. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
And just like the Rudolph catch, there is no review. 2nd and 10 at the 27. 1 to either side, and the handoff running around.
Wow.
Oh, my!
Oh, wow.
How in the world did Lord find that hole up to the 33?
I don't know, and sorry for me getting here late to the party. I don't know what team he's on, but they have found a diamond in the rough for this guy. Oh, someone needs to sign that guy.
I'm telling you, neither of these running backs are on the squad.
Oh, my goodness.
They look great out there. 3rd and 4. Let's see if they keep it in Lord's hands. Nope. Jones going to throw. Flips it outside, and McCall runs the route short. Rookie mistake there. And once again, I mean, this has been the story of the whole half for Detroit. They get a first down or two and then tucker out.
Missed opportunities is what this coach is going to be talking about at halftime.
Moyer back out there to boot it away.
Not only is it a missed opportunity, but now you're giving the opposition time to perhaps put a quick drive together.
Fair catch called for at the 33. See what Pickler looks like in the 2-minute offense. Going to need a catch or two out of Axis. Haven't seen anybody just yet that could dethrone Lamano, Chima, and Zero from earlier today.
Not yet, but we got a whole another half to go.
Pickler's trying to pick up his resume. Delacorte's stealing the whole show for the Revolution. 1st and 10 at the 33. Pickler going long, and it's nearly intercepted. I think he got baited there to throw that down the field.
Yeah, he did.
Angel Salinas comes out of nowhere and makes the play.
Angel Salinas was on the radar of a couple of teams in this draft, mine included, showing his ability to both stop the run and get back and provide some coverage in the passing game as well today.
1:14 to play in the first half. 2nd and 10 for the Revolution. Pickler's rating is dipped to 58. 115 yards. That pick really cost him. 2nd down. 2 in the backfield. Pickler going to change the play. 2 receivers, both to the short side left. 3 down linemen for the steal. The handoff goes to Delacorte and gets nothing. Now, the steal remind me of those Dallas Roughnecks from back in the day.
No comment there, Cam.
Well, I didn't mean because they're losing 13-0. I meant because of the uniforms.
There are some similarities. Now,
yeah.
Now look at it, yeah.
If you took it the former way, that was not my intention.
Okay.
3rd and 10 at the 33. Pickler in trouble. Didn't see the backside pressure. And that is James Kelly making the play for the steal. And really, I shouldn't say backside pressure. He just caught Pickler off guard staring down the field. Boom.
For you young coaches out there, anytime you call these 7-step drops, you got to have athletic tackles covering the edge because those defensive ends can get around that corner in a heartbeat.
Especially this defensive front. Now, Detroit took a timeout, which sometimes we don't see teams take timeouts late in the half, down trying to get the ball back, but Detroit wanted to take another stab at this, pinning the Revolution back a little bit further, back their own 24-yard line. This punt is a boomer all the way to the 28. Return of the 29. That is a punt of 45.
4.6 seconds of halftime. He's like an extra defender on the field out there.
I'm surprised we
Max
haven't had more
Paul.
punters.
Max Paul is somewhere saying, I told you guys so. This is what I saw, which is why I drafted a punter.
3 receivers, 2 to the left. First down at the 29. Jones, middle, caught. That's not going to do anything. That's McCall again. McCall's been just running a bunch of short routes. I think they might be setting something up big. And it might be right there. Now they're going to throw a screen outside. Nice move. 2 spins, but spun back in play to the 42-yard line. That was the problem there for Lord.
Yeah, he should have run out of bounds.
And not calling timeouts now. Jones trying to get players down the field, just throws it away. That's a smart play to protect a Hail Mary possibility.
If Jones runs out of bounds, they got time on the clock to get perhaps one more play before Hail Mary attempt.
But you take a sack there, you're screwed. I mean,
it's
you
over
fall
with.
out of field goal range, or I'm sorry, fall out of Hail Mary range. So Jones going to have a chance to loft this one up. In the Hail Mary formation, you've got Flash Furman. McCall is out there. I think I might have seen Aaron Brown, you too. They're going to get this off. Plenty of time to throw this bomb. And down the field, it's intercepted the goal line. And that play made by Kai Cash. And well done for Cash to end the half on a positive note for the Revolution.
He gave his receivers all day to get downfield. And these young rookies are showing just how important progression is, because with a little bit more speed, that could have been a more contested play.
And that ends the first half. A bit one-sided. I would say that probably the biggest play of the game was made by a player that won't even be in season 14. That's Francis Delacourt with that incredible double spin run. Did get some help inside from Improta. And it's 13-0, and you look at the numbers, and it's just totally lopsided outside of time of possession. The fact that the Steel have 10 minutes and 24 seconds of possession, which is 95 yards, is a big problem.
95 yards in 11 minutes is not going to get the job done. Your offense is on the field enough. Your defense is kind of tired, though, despite the equal amount of time possession, but still you're putting them under mental stress, and it can be nerve-wracking.
Eddie, who's Arizona got in the preseason?
We have Jacksonville, who has 6 DBs, so I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to play out. I doubt I see, what they plan to do with it, under real-time game situations, but nonetheless, I want to see how that talent unfolds this weekend.
That's in Jacksonville, yeah? Your home opener won't be for another couple of weeks.
That is correct. I'm anxiously waiting to unveil this stadium to the rest of the world.
It's a big one against Dion and company. Tulsa coming into town.
Yeah, I've already labeled it the battle of the quarterbacks who switch teams. I've got Ashley going from OKC to Arizona. I'm sorry, from Tulsa to formerly OKC, now Arizona, and just the exact opposite with Deacon Nickens here. So I'm sure they got this one circled on their calendars as well.
So 13-0, the Steel get the ball to start the second half. That's the positive for Detroit. Agrippa will kick it away, and this is a chance to test the kickoff leg. Only gets to the 5. Actually, that was Ethan Snead. My apologies. As the return gets out to the 27-yard line for Bryce Battle. So, bit of a sluggish half for the passing offense of the Steel, especially given that they got 3 talented receivers in Furman, Battle, and McCall.
Yep.
They've got Aaron Brown and Lyric Da Vinci at tight end. Plenty of weapons. Of course, Phoenix Jones in the backfield as well. So lots to throw to, but Gabby has struggled to find those weapons as that toss back inside is only a pickup of one. Tackle made by Riley Combs, who's got a couple now on the line for the Revs tonight.
Riley Combs saying, hey, I was picked second overall for a reason. They saw something in me the rest of the league didn't, thinking I was going to fall. But hey, I'm here now. Doesn't matter where I was drafted at. I'm here to make an impact.
Great to see the ladies representing all throughout the season as Jones completes that pass for 3. And that's a catch for Lyric Da Vinci, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6. Here we go again with Detroit on 3rd down.
Yeah, it's been a story all game long thus far. The inability to convert on 3rd down.
Out of the gun for Jones. Split backs. 3 receivers. Draw. What a mess that was. And the tackle made by Joseph Soboka, having a really nice night, is Soboka. And what do you make of these offenses? I mean, not getting the fullbacks involved nearly as much as Jet Zero was involved earlier today. What do you make of that, Eddie?
You know, I was just having this conversation with someone else earlier today in a similar topic. And it's just, you just never know what you're going to get out of these coaches. You think you know one way they're going to go and they decide to go another. And it's just an ongoing guessing game. You can put together a perfect game plan, but if it's not executed the way you anticipated, it could be a long night regardless.
You just feel like this game is at a tipping point, don't you, Eddie? Like we're kind of in this lull where if the Revolution score here, it's a wrap. And if the Steel score here, it's, you know, it could totally galvanize this team as Pickler fires it outside to Axis for a 4-yard gain.
Sometimes in moments like this, as a defensive coach, you just got to tell those guys, hey, I know you're getting frustrated. The offense isn't doing much, but we're one play away from turning this thing around. Hang in there. Hopefully the offense can get things going. But if they can't, sometimes you have to be that offense. As a coach, you to tell me, don't wait for someone else to make a play. You be the one to make it.
Jacob
Press
Clear
man here.
Jacob Clear with that tackle. As this pass is dumped off to him, Proda picked up a couple. Nice wrap-up outside by Lawless. But Clear with that tackle. He was in Houston with you guys last season as a non-contract and really wanted to come back to Houston, and DeMond Simeon found a way to bring him back.
He did. Despite the fact he had a couple of weeks of missed progression, something in him that DeMond saw made him bring him back. And not only did he bring him back, but he was his 1st-round draft pick. So something in him he saw, and he's looking to make the most out of this opportunity this season.
Pickler on 3rd and 4 dumps it off to Axis, and I think that's a bit of a rookie mistake there, Eddie, because if he would have thrown it to Axis a little bit earlier, would have given him some running room.
Yeah.
But instead he sort of waited for him to cross across his face, and by that time he was in the belly of the defense, and the Steel get a stop. And another
That's why they play these games.
Man, I tell you, Agrippa needs a little bit of control. He is just ripping these things into the end zone tonight. That's the 3rd touchback.
Yes, it is. I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, you can have a powerful leg, but you need to learn how to, instead of putting so much, less of an arc on it, to sometimes put some more air up under that ball, give your defenders a chance to get downfield while simultaneously allowing that ball to be touched back inside the 20.
8 minutes to go in the 3rd. Flip out Lord. Look at all that room. Lord carrying it like a loaf of bread. Gets all the way to the 40. A 20-yard gain to match his number. And it just makes Phoenix Jones more furious every time Trevor Lord does something relevant.
He's carrying that ball like he's scared someone's ready to tackle him from behind. I don't blame him. He doesn't want to make a rookie mistake, but good job holding on to that ball, young fella.
Shout outs to Phoenix Jones. Kills Krilla, Mike Improda. AJ today, Jackson, Drezid, Dave Axis, Soul 2011, Maverick Legend with the 100 bits. It's almost SFL season again. Let's go. Rooks, Syndicate, giving some positive vibes to Jacob Clear, Udoncha, and many others. And this is another mess in the backfield. 3-yard loss, but Bryce Lincoln picks up his 5th tackle. You know, when Levon Irvine went to New Orleans was an interesting case last year, weren't they, Eddie? They got Yassine Clifton, Levon Irvine. They made some big free agent splashes.
Yes,
and
they
unlike
did.
Xander Gold's rookie season, it just didn't quite come together for them. And maybe Bryce Lincoln can be that, an extra piece they need. Boy, Lord is just hogging things out there tonight.
I'm sorry.
Oh boy, I don't even know. I don't even know what Eddie's going on about now, but this is great television.
I'm sorry.
3rd and 13. Hopefully y'all can hear me. 6:55 to go in the third. And Jones dumps it short. Got to make a man miss. Oh, great open field tackle. That was brilliant by Davidson Joseph in the open field. Bryce Battle breaks that tackle, and for sure he's getting a first down. Another stop for that Revolution defense.
Another stop. They continue to, keep the train rolling here with this defense they've displayed so far throughout this game. Speaking of New Orleans, I've been speaking with their GM throughout the offseason, and he is hungry to prove that last season was just a fluke, and they're going to get back on their winning ways here. And knowing him like I do, I know he's been in the lab entire offseason trying to figure out how they're going to get this train turned around. I got faith in him. He's been working hard throughout the offseason. I spoke to him a number of times, and he's out to prove to the rest of the SFL that last season was just that, a thing of the past.
Well, and they had a brutal schedule last season, too. Their start was one of the most rigorous in around the league. Their schedule not as challenging, at least on paper, to start. We'll see what they do with it. Loss of 3 there. That's Delacourt's updated numbers, but Blackwell makes the stop. 6:10 to go. Lee Adama congratulating his showcase teammate. And as much as the Steel offense has sputtered, the Revolution offense hasn't done much either over the last 5 or 6 minutes.
They found a way to solve that puzzle.
Steel in the dime, and Pickler fires it out. See, that time gave his receiver a little bit more room to run, and that'll get 2 yards from a first down. Victor Williamson on the catch. 3rd and 2.
Well, they also spread the defense out with 5 receivers eligible on that play as well. Hard to defend.
Improta is over to the right of Pickler, who's changing the play at the line. Pickler going to throw, and wide open, just barely got it out to Saren Storm for the first down. Pickler was running out of time, but moves the chains.
Yeah, there was almost another move in which I thought he wasn't going to get his feet in to make that a legal catch there.
What were you laughing about earlier?
The way you said how the receiver on that one play was hogging the ball. What's he supposed to do?
I don't know. To give it up to somebody relevant. That's what he's supposed to do. And at the same time, Blackwell, man, he is killing it here for the Steel. The Steel actually did not have. They were one of very few teams that did not have rookie strong safety in. So you're looking at a generic out there, and Blackwell not playing too bad tonight. 2nd and 12 at the 43. Right place, right time. Pickler in another long situation against a blitz. Pickler gets away
look at that.
And steps up and throws it for a completion. That was probably Johnny's best play of the night as Axis picks up 10 yards. And I thought Pickler was going to run for just a second, but he gets his teammate Axis involved for the first time in the 3rd quarter.
St. Louis has something in this guy. I tell you what, I've seen him scramble out of danger a number of times so far this preseason.
Out of the eye now on a 3rd and short. They run Yeah, right behind Improda. Improda looking for some blocks. Improda down the field, but Delacourt didn't need him that time, as it's another first down for the rest of the 24. Delacourt over 100 yards, and you could see the holes were so wide open. Improda was looking for somebody to block. Look at 34.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't have anybody.
He didn't have any to block. He wanted to get 23, but he was just a little bit too quick for him. So he looked elsewhere. But if he would have got his hands on 23, that'd have been a touchdown.
I haven't seen Improda move that fast since we were on the floor of Dave and Buster's. at the draft party. 1st and 10 at the 24 now. Revolution on the move. The Steel have got to stop the bleeding, and that sure will help. Initially in the backfield, J.R. Lawless making the nice play. Drops him for a loss of 2.
JR has made a couple of nice plays here today, making his presence felt. He says, hey, I do more than just graphics, guys. I can play football, too.
2nd down and 12. Revolution up 13-0. A field goal would keep it a 2-score game. Another toss play. Man, lots of running tonight. Got a couple, but it'll set up a big 3rd down and 10. And, you know, the Revolution might be doing that on purpose, putting Pickler in 3rd and long situations and seeing how he responds.
Want to see that cannon of an arm he has.
We'll go with trips to the right with a single receiver up top. The far side left. 4 down linemen and really kind of 8 in the box. Looks kind of like man coverage there for the Steel. They bring an extra, and Pickler fires it complete right at the sticks for a 1st down. That pass is complete again to Williamson, his 2nd catch of the drive. But back-to-back 3rd down plays, Pickler has delivered.
Unlike the out route we saw earlier that was almost taken to the house, this is what you want to do. You want to lead that receiver toward the sidelines and out of bounds. You want that ball practically out of bounds, leaving no one able to catch it but your intended target.
1st and 10 at the 13, and the handoff back to Delacourt. Nice job just slicing up the defense there. That was Cleland coming through, and Cleland, it doesn't look like your typical linebacker, Eddie. I mean, this guy is swole, man. He's lean at linebacker is what I'm trying to say.
He is. He actually called the play up just nice there, as coaches did with that run blitz. Nowhere for that tailback to go but to the ground.
At the Detroit 16, here's Pickler again on a 2nd and long. Pickler holding that ball, patting it, and that pass was on the money. Might have been a little bit behind Storm. Storm's been targeted 6 times. Let's see if that ball was behind him or if he just dropped it. I think he just dropped it.
Yeah, he just dropped it.
Couple of drops tonight going against Pickler unfairly. Here's another 3rd and long, though. Need the just ahead of the 3 for a 1st down.
Pickler, don't be afraid to settle for the field goal. No need to make a mistake here and get this opposition back in the game.
Out of the empty, needs some help from his blocking tackles. Another good pocket for Pickler. Going to the corner of the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, wide open. The pass is caught by Chris Armstrong, another non-contract player in the ball game tonight, which is unbelievable. I mean, every touchdown has been scored for the Revolution by a player that we won't see in season 14. You just don't see guys making plays like that.
I have no idea why on 3rd and long you're calling it too hard. I mean, you're just begging for the ball to go over your head, and that's what just happened there. Touchdown.
Now, for those who don't know, what does a too hard look like defensively?
It's pretty much like a cover 2. It's related to it, but instead of saying dropping back, covering 5 to 7 yards out, you're covering pretty much the flat, looking for a halfback screen, something you would call to stop guys like Ray Bentley. And I apologize to Mexico City if I'm giving away some secrets here, but stuff like that is what it's intended for. This time, not a good time to call it on 3rd down and long.
Don't act like you care about Mexico City's feelings. Nobody's buying it, Eddie. You want to beat them down just like everybody else around here. Oh, look at this return by Bryce Battle all the way out to the 44-yard line. Fantastic play by Battle, and that is the biggest jolt the Steel have had all night in terms of field position.
It is. They've been battling field position woes all night. Hope they can do something with this field position they have. They almost at midfield already to start this drive.
Good hustle by the guy that just scored the touchdown, Armstrong, making the tackle.
Pulling double duty here tonight.
That's one of my favorite things about the Pro Bowl is you see these guys that have no business playing special teams out there flying around hitting people. First down at the 44. And give it off one more time.
Oh
he
my
got
goodness.
a great block from Phoenix Jones.
He got a great block, and then he followed it up with a nice little, what we used to call it back in the day, where he gave him the ankle breaker there and got a couple extra yards.
We saw you on that one, Phoenix. 2nd and 2 at the 49. It's a long 2, though. About 2.5. Steel need a bomb down the field or something. They got to electrify the fans that have come to see this rookie squad. That is not electrifying. Threw it into triple coverage. And there on the coverage, Marvin Himes. Haven't mentioned him yet tonight, but Himes makes the play. 3rd and 2.
The entire secondary showed off their cover skills on that play. No one was open.
Plague 7 giving a Tier 1 sub to Ashley Jackson. That is the 41st gifted sub by him in this channel. Thank you for all the support of the channel and the community on 3rd and 2. That's a backwards pass and a backwards gain. Loss of 1. And another dead possession for Detroit. Their offense has been a mess tonight.
He needed little. He got even less. 4th down.
But, you know, if you're Phoenix Jones, who has not been getting the ball at all tonight for Detroit, you can only go up from here. And you know Ramos is going to be getting him the ball with Ray Bentley in that backfield and all the weapons that Mexico City has. It's going to be dynamic. Have you ever seen, you've known Ramos even longer than I have, Eddie. Have you ever seen him with a fullback weapon in the backfield? I don't even know, what that looks like in his offense.
It's funny you say that because in this league as well as others, I can't recall them using it too often. And the way they use Ray Bentley in this offense is going to take away from his production. At least I would think it would if they're going to use the fullback like I think he'd do. Unless he plans on using Ray more in the running game and getting more productivity out of him that way.
3 receivers hand off. Delacourt got 3. That'll be the final play of the quarter. 111 yards tonight. But Delacourt, 66. That ain't going to touch 0. He got 69 earlier. That's still the longest play. Well, Chase Earl had an 80-yard score, too.
Yes.
Butch Fours up, 20-0. Revolution all over the Steel here in the second game of the Rookie Showcase. Johnny Pickler in the chat. One team came to play tonight. Yeah, your team. 2nd and 7 at the 24. Pickler tosses it out.
Good blocking.
Oh, look at that play. Nice job down the field. That's Martin Murphy and company out there setting blocks. Another 3rd down for Pickler to convert.
Yeah, this one is manageable.
Pickler on a 3rd down and 2. 2 receivers either side, but a heavy look here. 7 in the box. They're bringing lots. Got a late block, but not enough. And in the backfield, Ray Zor of Seattle making the stop. Detroit keeping it interesting because all Detroit needs is 1 score, and this thing, you know, there's still enough time.
Yeah.
Not letting the Revs run away with it.
They've found a way to buckle things down as far as their defense is concerned here in the second half. Speaking of defense, Everett Garrison, my old teammate in Houston, is begging for a shutout. I told him I'd give it to him, and there you go, buddy. I tried to recruit you, and you said no. I'd rather stay here at home in Houston. I'm not migrating my family out there to that desert. Are you kidding me? EG, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, buddy. I'm not going to forget this.
I tell you what, The Hyenas love drafting corners, man. 3 years in a row. The Hyenas have taken a corner in the first round, and mostly it's all worked out. Now, Aiden Davis ended up going to Denver in free agency, but Garrison, I mean, if he continues his play, he could be a Hall of Famer in this league. He is a shutdown corner if I've ever seen one. That pass is caught down the field for a first down. And, you know, Everett Garrison, it kind of reminds me, Eddie, I'm dating myself here. Do you remember the name Ivan Mixon?
That name.
San Francisco.
There we go. Yes.
He was about as close to a shutdown corner, and I mean a shutdown. You couldn't throw his way ever as there was in this league, and Garrison kind of has the same vibe.
Garrison, I love that kid. All the pick six memories and shutting down receivers. He had an aggressive play style, and I loved him for it. That guy's, he's definitely headed to the Hall of Fame.
Wrap up by Cash there, but not before Lord gets 7 to the 41. The Steel, they need to pick up the pace here. Can't waste too much time. I tell you what, if they get Jones the ball, nobody's going to see it coming. But instead, it's Lord. Lord got a ton of room. I think the Revs might have been thinking what I was thinking. Maybe this is a time for Jones to get it, but Lord squirts up the middle to the 34-yard line, and don't look now, but the Steel are on the move.
Another young fact for these defensive coordinators, press man is a recipe for disaster. Anytime you can hit a dive or a trap successfully.
I formation here for Gabby Jones, needing to push the ball down the field. Oh, Lord, got whacked. That was a mob hit on the football field. Berto Demora continues his stellar night, and I think the Desperados found a good one. Out of all of the defensive linemen in this game tonight, you know, Demora was the 5th one taken in the draft, and he's looked like the best one tonight.
He has some tough shoes to fill. Replacing Gabe Ledoux, but if anyone is up for the challenge and coaching them up, it'll be Tulsa. They found a way to get him going. They put Rhett Sawyer's name on the map with his productivity. So if any team can do it, it would be Tulsa.
3rd and 8. Look at Bryce Lincoln. He'll be wearing purple, gold, and black soon enough. A little bit of gray in there. 3rd and 8. All or nothing here for Detroit. Field goal won't do him any good. Deep drop back. That pass is knocked away. Just too flat into a bunch of space. Bear again with the swat away, and I don't know what Detroit's going to do with this. They got to go for this, right?
They have to at this point. 7 and some change left. Down 3 scores. The time is now. Wow, they're going to settle for a field goal attempt.
Well, Anthony CC's got to get some looks too here. The Chicago Wildcat could break the tie, but Detroit basically waving the white flag with that. 48-yarder for CC. And CC's kick, first field goal attempt of the night. That's good from 48. So the Chicago Wildcat gets it done. And Detroit's on the board and avoids the shutout. Very similar to the first game earlier today.
Left-footed kicker here getting some love.
So 7:15 left. Too early for an onside kick, if you can believe that.
Yeah, too
early. Even though we don't often have the conversation about it's too early for onside kicks. It's definitely too early right now, and Detroit will try to play some defense. This is a chance for Pickler to really make a statement here, step on the throat of his first opponent. He'll start from the 21-yard line off the Axis return. And as we wind down, Eddie, we're about to get the preseason. It'll be our first time we get to see a lot of these teams on the field since the last week of October, almost 3 months removed. And it's just going to be nice seeing SFL uniforms out there again.
Yes, it is. There are a number of teams I'm looking forward to seeing this season. You got Jacksonville. Oh, wow. Where was that ball going?
I don't know what Pickler was. He was looking for a Prota down the field. Run faster, Mikey.
He's got to remember he's throwing to a fullback.
Oh, now the last time you said that, the fullback ran for 70 yards.
He did, but goodness, you can't expect him to run routes like that, too. I mean, you ask for too much out of those guys.
Pickler has high expectations of people.
Yes,
That's a good
apparently
thing.
he does.
Second down at the 21. Pickler looking and sacked. Looked like he thought he might have had somebody going down the field, but I think they cut middle into a bunch of safeties, and the sack made by Matthew Braun. He's had a nice night for London. You were talking about the preseason, I believe, Eddie, a couple plays ago.
I was. I'm looking forward to the play of Jacksonville this season. All those DBs. I'm looking forward to seeing what Chicago does. You know, they've been an up and down team. You know, they like the deep passing game, so they're gonna draft a fullback. Caught me off guard. I'm looking to see what kind of changes they make as that ball is flopping around the place. But Chicago, Mexico City with their fullback, as I talked about earlier. Jacksonville, there are a number of teams. Queen City, that's another team I'm looking forward to seeing this season with all the moves they've made as well.
Bunch of sea lions trying to get a fish out there. That's what that looked like. Ends up incomplete. It's really not that bad. It would have been like a punt anyway for the Revolution.
Yeah.
But Pickler has not found as much room in the second half as he had found in the first. As the Steel had figured some things out, almost blocked that punt. This is Battle from his own 41 and will nearly get up to midfield. Preseason's always interesting because you really got to kind of get to see these new faces or these old faces in new places, and you kind of do a double take, like,
yes,
you know, what's Ledoux doing there, you know, stuff like
I
that.
remember during the preseason during the show in which the schedule was announced. Every time you went to the next week, I had a habit of just keep looking for Houston instead of Arizona, and I had to catch myself.
Jones had to catch herself right there. Rolled out to the left, and nobody was open. Threw it away.
No one was open, yeah.
6:23 left. Dave Axis, Mince and Mine, Mike and Proda, Coach Craven, Code Gaming, Dave Axis, Night Shift, Wall Crawler, Zero Rising, Packer Fred, all in the chat right now. Thanks for sticking with us here on a late night on the SFL Network on Twitch. We are 9 days away from the SFL regular season, and 9 days away right at this time, 10:38 Central, 11:38 Eastern, we are going to be in Houston for the Hyenas and Scorpions. 9 days away.
Cam, I did not want this game on my schedule, but I know it had to happen for storyline purposes. I just want this one over with. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm nervous about that one. Yes, I do.
3rd and 10 for Jones. Desperation time for the Steel. Jones in some trouble. That might have been a fumble. That looked like an open hand to me as Riley Combs got in the backfield. Great play by Riley. I think Detroit, believe it or not, caught a break there.
Yeah, I think it was just as he was throwing the ball there, as I'm looking at it again on the replay. Yeah, it looks like he was just getting ready to ball. That was bang, bang. Could have went either way.
And Detroit's going to punt, and this fourth quarter has become a bit of a snooze fest.
It has. Detroit has not shown up on offense today.
Coming in for the block, can't get there. Fair catch called for by Axis, keeping those legs fresh. 6:10 to go.
His agent may have gotten a text message from Mark Chisholm telling him, hey, don't even attempt to return it. Just call a fair catch or get out of the way. We need you ready and healthy, young man.
Pickler back to work. Pickler's shown flashes tonight, not necessarily bursting onto the scene, but hasn't had a terrible game. Just one bad throw. Loss of 2. They keep putting him in second and third and long situations. Delacourt's under 5. Tackle made in the backfield by Cleveland, who's had a nice night for London.
That last play right there is indicative of what I was just talking about in my locker room today. Defensive linemen want to know how many sacks they had, and if they don't have any, they think they didn't make an impact. But that defensive end actually pushed the runner back toward the inside where his help was. So he actually made the play.
Pickler scrambling around, but couldn't find anybody open. That's a 6-yard loss. And making that play was Matthew Braun again, trying to catch Brock Lee. And there's a look. He's working against Houston's Alistair Johnson in that star offensive line, defensive line interactions. And that's another topic of conversation, along with more defensive line guys. We've got more offensive line guys this season in the SFL. We'll get to your thoughts on that after this 3rd and 18 for Johnny. And Pickler goes down the middle, and it's caught. Johnny Pickler delivers again, a 25-yard gain. Saren Storm for a first down.
Showing off that arm once again.
Get a look at the route downfield here.
Looks like it might have been cover 4 there. Found a soft spot in the zone and completed it for a first down. 3rd and long. Wow, that's tough.
So, what do you think is going to happen with these offensive and defensive linemen out there engaging this season? How are teams going to have to adjust to this?
Oh, man. The possibilities are endless. I was thinking about this in Lent today. With all the defensive linemen chosen, I think they got a leg up. But once those offensive linemen begin to develop and improve their skills, the league is going to take notice, and you will see more of them taken in next year's draft, in my opinion. But back to your point about Matthew Braun, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I brought this up earlier, but I didn't mention who. He is the gentleman I was looking at in drafting 3rd overall before Ashley Jackson and Kanye Rockefeller convinced me to take Mark Mello.
Toss outside, going nowhere but backwards. He's running out the clock at this point.
So Mark Mello, you've got some competition ahead of you. I want you to look at him and make sure your numbers stay above his all season long.
That might be worth a player comparison graphic later in the season. It smells like you got London on your schedule, Eddie? I don't think you do.
I do not.
That would be a long flight. 3rd and 15 for Pickler. Another opportunity to throw a laser down the field on 3rd and long. But he'll hand it off. That is a bizarre decision.
It is, but when a 20-3 lead, they don't want to make any. They don't want to make it easy for Detroit here.
I think that was Pickler's engine. Hey, we've converted enough 3rd downs for your joker running back there. I want you to put his arm on ice.
Yeah, it could be the case too.
So Agrippa, who's been pretty busy, will punt it away again.
That's never a good thing when your punter is busy.
No. If the fullbacks of these teams are Best Buy, well, no, the fullbacks of these teams are more like Circuit City tonight. The punters are Amazon. They're just sitting out there while the wind blows the front doors open, just waiting for a customer.
You're on the road tonight.
Well, and I feel bad for these guys. I mean, these coaches, they get to see Jet Zero earlier today. He crushed it.
Yeah, he did.
And they fed him the ball. And it's, it just wasn't their night tonight. But that's the way it goes in the SFL. Sometimes it's just not your night. Jones stepping up, long throw. That's knocked away, and a chance to get a pick for Bryce Lincoln. That would have turned some heads. Linebacker in coverage way down the field. The pass was underthrown.
I'll tell you another thing, Cam. The untrained eye may not see it, but coaches see it. He has played well all night today in pass coverage. He did everything but catch the pass, but for him to swivel his hips, turn around, find his receiver, and bat that ball down, that was impressive.
2nd down. He was all alone on that receiver out there. Jones again, deep drop back firing down the middle of the field. That pass is knocked away. And not a horrible throw, but better coverage down the field. That's Rufus Ryan. Always wanted to name a dog Rufus. Just never had the opportunity. Great effort made there by Flash Furman. Has not had the best tonight, but really, of the 4 quarterbacks we've seen today, Eddie, Gabby she's struggled the most, I would say.
I'd say so too, but hey, it's her first game in action. Everyone's nervous. She has all season to improve.
3rd and 10 at the 17. And that is a wrap on that. Only a gain of 5. There's the numbers. Pickler over 200, 206. A touchdown and a pick. And Detroit, I think, is going to go for it here on 4th and 5, but it'll be after the 2-minute warning.
I would think so too. But Gabby, let this be a lesson learned why it's so important to progress throughout the season. Progress every week on time, and your player will improve. Your coaches will put you in better positions to showcase your talent, and you'll be able to further make an impact.
4th and 5. Jones. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Jacob McCall.
Oh, that was tough.
Going to get a McCall to McDonald's. Keep dropping passes like that. No, in all seriousness. I mean, Jacob McCall's got a bright future. He's one of these desperados, man, that I thought Tulsa, of most teams tonight, I thought Tulsa had the best night overall with the way their players showed out. I don't know who's going to be the player of this game. Might end up being Delacourt. And Pickler's out. They just straight up took Pickler out the game.
That was a smart decision. At this point, they're just going to be running the ball anyway.
He has left the building.
Did he at least take a shower, Cam?
I don't know. I don't want to comment. I might be a reporter, but I'm not that in-depth of a reporter. 2nd down, trying to waste some clock. A 1st down will ice it.
Oh.
That is not Improda. I know what you were thinking. John Perry comes in at running back to get a carry. Just feed the man. He's hungry.
For a minute there, I thought he got a touch.
Yeah. What was your favorite uniform of the day? Great uniforms all day. Thanks to everybody who turned them in, selected them. Gerald Smith, a big part of today's action. What was your favorite?
My favorite would probably be from the first game. The Lancers uniform. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I'll go with the Crusaders. Like the road look. Angel Salinas with the tackle. So we're actually going to get a chance to see for the first time to attempt a field goal, Ethan Sneed, the kicker, from 34 yards out to make it 23-3. The first game was 26-7, so almost identical margins of victory there.
Yeah, but that first game was really entertaining despite the score.
Yeah, Ethan Sneed, the new kicker for Florida, that's up and good. 23-3. Yeah, the first game spoiled us a little, Eddie, I hate to say.
It did.
That was an exciting contest all the way through.
Yeah, you got fullbacks with 69-yard runs and interceptions all over the place. And it was, Ethan Wood had a couple of nice receptions along with Mac Chima of Baltimore. That was a pretty entertaining game today.
1:42 left. Detroit might be able to do something in garbage time after the Revolution pull out some of their starters from the 11 battle, put in the ground at the 28. Phoenix Jones is feeling it.
Great helmet. You can't help but recognize it. The way it beams off of the lights in the high up in the rafters there.
You talk about the Revs?
Yes.
Yeah, the bronze look is nice. Jones changing the play. Going to throw for it. Dumps it short. Pass caught. That's Da Vinci. Da Vinci's had a solid night. at
He
tight end
has.
tonight. Looked good.
Yep.
Off that right side, pickup of 6. Jones again over the middle, and that's another reception. That goes to Furman. Flash getting going. Skyhawks have 2 players named Flash on their squad. One the first name is Flash, and the other the last name. That's a loss of 1. Get up, Lord. Goodness. Haven't you done enough? Now you're just wasting time. 2nd and 11 down the middle. Whoa! That looked like it was going to be snagged by one hand by the other receiver, but McCall makes up for the drop earlier. And Jones matriculating down the field, but a sack inside. That play
4th
was
down.
Yeah, that play was made by Joseph Sabolka. Now it's 4th down, and that's another sack, but there's a flag. That might even be for a hold.
Could be.
What a mess that was at the end, and Chad Rowland ends up getting the sack if the penalty is on
Pass
Detroit,
interference.
and it is.
Oh, there is a hold. Huh.
Oh, it's on Lord. What a shocker.
Yeah.
Man, a guy can't stop getting in the headlines. He really stole the thunder. Even I'm starting to get upset. He really stole the thunder tonight.
My wife is giving me a look like, what is so funny?
Oh, goodness. We got to get it all out of our system because we got to be a little bit more serious.
Yes.
When games mean a lot and teams have game planned 30, 40, 50 hours that week or whatever, there's no time for jokes.
None.
So we're having a little bit of fun.
It's funny today, but starting next week, it'll all be for real. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to our first matchup with Houston, despite the fact I really don't want to play them. Oh, what a way to get my career started. But I'm looking forward to it nonetheless, Cam.
So the preseason starts tomorrow night. 8:05 Eastern, Florida and Tulsa. 8:10 Eastern, Arizona and Jacksonville. Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson will be on the call for that game. That'll be on YouTube. Me and Steven will be right back here on Twitch. The Steel end up with just 184 yards of offense tonight, which was a low amongst the rookie teams this afternoon and evening. Cleveland ends up with 9 solo tackles. That was most out there tonight.
Impressive.
4 games on Friday. I misspoke earlier. Said it was 2 on Friday, 4 on Saturday. But there's 4 on Friday starting at 6 Eastern. Denver and Atlanta. Michael Turillo and yourself will be on that call. 6:05, Charles Doherty doing play-by-play with T. Roy Gaines. That's a fun pairing. Houston at Vegas on YouTube. 9 p.m. Eastern, Carolina and Seattle. It's Rich Bratcher, Dan Daly on Twitch. Followed shortly by 9:05 Eastern, Charleston, Queen City, Andy Hamilton, Wade Phillips on the call. Well, final thoughts, Eddie. You showed up. We saw an interception. We thought we were going to get more fireworks. Sometimes you just don't get the fireworks, but solid night nonetheless, and put the rookie showcase in the books.
Yeah, some impressive play by the non-contract running back. Well, that's those guys. But yeah,
player of the game. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. 107 and 2 TDs. That'll do it for you. But yeah, the punting game here, you know, they've put on display why they're relevant pieces in today's game with expanded rosters, and you know, you got these fullbacks out here trying to make their mark when they're given an opportunity to do so. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this season, but it's not over yet. We got some preseason games tomorrow, as you stated.
Pickler finishes 19-28, 206 yards. They shut him down really in the fourth quarter. On the receiving side of things, McCall ends up with 7 catches for 45 yards on 11 targets. Not a bad day for McCall. Axis, 5 for 71 on 7 targets. He was sort of the biggest threat down the field. Saren Storm had 47. And 3, Da Vinci 3 for 18. Mosley 2 for 12. And on the defensive side of things, Cleveland with 9 tackles. Lincoln was 7. Joseph 5. Jackson had 3 assists as well. In the sack department, boy, there were lots of sacks. 4, 5, 6,
Yes.
7, 8, 9 sacks today as the offenses were deemed mostly irrelevant. And the 1 interception of note comes from Kai Cash. That was at the end of the first half. Ready for the preseason, Eddie?
I'm more than ready.
Well, let's get it. For Eddie Gage, I'm Cameron Irvine, the rest of our SFL Network broadcast crew. Thanks for being here for the Rookie Showcase. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for preseason action.
Thanks for coming. Good night. Drive home safely, everyone.